Hello everyone, Miss Carrie here. Today we're going to create an adorable baby-themed quilt card. For today's project, I'm using a few favorites from This Calls for Confetti. The Spring Scene Builder die set has these sweet little bunny silhouettes. As you can see, this was designed for Easter with the decorative eggs, but these fun little images can be used on other cards, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm also going to be using the stitched plaid cover plate. I love adding stitching details to my projects, and this is a simple way to do that. I'm using some papers from the speckled paper pad. On my card, I'll be using soft neutral tones, but as you can see, there are some other hues here that can be used on your baby cards. As I create today's project, I'll bring in a few additional supplies. As always, I encourage you to use what you already have in your collection, but if you would like a list of the items I'm using, one has been provided for you in the description below, along with my affiliate link to the This Calls for Confetti shop. Let's go ahead and get started with the project. I'm going to start by building the bunny quilt background. I've already cut out the bunny shapes and added double-sided adhesive to the backs to make placement super easy and mess-free. This also helps them stay in place securely without any liquid glue. I have placed my 4 by 5 inch cardstock panel onto a sticky grid mat. This is going to help me align all the bunnies perfectly and keep the spacing even. I'm also using a piece of removable tape to make sure that each row is completely aligned as I position them. I'm starting with the lightest color first, placing the outer bunnies, then the center, and then I'll fill in the gaps. This technique helps me create a symmetrical layout and even spacing. Small dies like these bunny shapes are perfect for creating custom pattern backgrounds. You can recreate this same look with hearts, stars, baby bottles, animals, and even tiny flowers. To personalize this for a baby shower, consider using traditional pastels like soft pinks and blues, mint green with cream, or lavender with a pale gray. I would love to know, do any of you quilt or have handmade quilts in your home? My grandmother used to make applique quilts, and this card was inspired by that cozy homemade vibe. When I'm making a card, I have to remember that it's a lot like quilting. Perfection isn't required. We want to embrace the charm of handmade. Now that the bunnies are in place, I'm going to add that quilted look using the stitched plaid cover plate. Now, because this background has lots of layers, I'm going to lightly mist the cardstock with water before I run it through the die cut machine, just like you would when using an embossing folder. This softens the fibers, and it's going to help the stitched details press more evenly. I'm going to center this onto my cover plate. I'm just going to run it quickly through the die cutting machine using the standard plate sandwich. Now I'm going to carefully peel the paper off the plate, and you'll see this beautiful stitched texture on the entire design. It looks just like a handmade baby blanket. Isn't it sweet? For the sentiment, I'm using rub-on transfers that are spring themed. This has multiple options. It comes in both gold and white. Now, this is an Easter themed set, but I think the phrase Cottontail Farms is going to fit beautifully with the handmade country style of this card. I use a little bit of repositionable tape to hold the transfers in place. That way it doesn't shift, and I can lift it like a hinge and check my progress. Now I noticed that some of the spots didn't transfer, so I'm just going to lay it back down and rub it again with the bone folder. Now after applying the rub-on, I realized that that oval shape I cut didn't quite fit the label well, so I'm going to hand trim around it. I want this to stand out a little bit, so I'm going to layer it onto some white cardstock, and then I'll trim around it again. The base has been cut out of craft cardstock to 5.5 by 4.25. I'm going to adhere the quilt panel directly onto the top. I want to bring in a little bit of natural fiber to this design, so I'm going to bundle some jute twine into small loops. I'm going to use the foam tape as the adhesive to tuck these behind the sentiment. I'm going to add a little bit of liquid adhesive over the top of this foam tape, and then I'm just going to pop it right here in the center of the card. Let's take a look at our completed card. You can really see the stitch texture, the soft country tones, and that cozy quilted look. I want to thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed today's tutorial, please click the like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions about the project or the supplies I used, feel free to post that in the comments below. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see what you create.